Well, it may be a new year, but we are still dealing with the old story of royal family bad as told by Prince Harry and his wife Meghan. Fresh trailers are out for even more sit-downs between Prince Harry and fawning journalists Anderson Cooper of America's 60 Minutes and Tom Bradbury of Britain's ITV. Now, in these, Prince Harry says he wants his family back. How extraordinary. But also accuses the family of betraying him. And of course, there was more evidence of his intense paranoia about the media's collusion with his former family. Here's a preview.
There have been briefings and leakings and planting of stories against me and my wife. You know, the family motto is never complain, never explain, but it's just a motto. And it doesn't really hold...
There's a lot of complaining and a lot of explaining.
Endless.
Private, being done through leaks.
Through leaks. When we're being told for the last 6 years, we can't put a statement out to protect you, but you do it for other members of the family, there becomes a point when silence is betrayal.
Well, I'm sure Harry isn't the only family member feeling betrayed. Joining me to discuss all of this now is Spectator staff writer Kara Kennedy. Welcome to the show, Kara.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Why would Harry have chosen Anderson Cooper, of all people, to talk to, do you think?
Well, actually, what's more interesting is the two teasers that we saw for yesterday's interviews. His ITV interview is with his favourite journalist, Tom Bradbury. They've had a very close relationship for a long time. And a lot of the kind of bombshell interviews that we've seen over the years, like Meghan saying, nobody asked me if I was okay, have actually been with Tom Bradbury. Anderson Cooper is another one. And that's funny because the two interviews focus on different things. So the one with Tom Bradbury that is airing on ITV focuses on kind of family, and then Anderson Cooper focuses on leaks. So I think he's going to two different audiences with two different things. And I think it's probably because he's absolutely exhausted the British public with this paranoia, like you mentioned, of leaking and the collusion between the firm and the media.
I just find it extraordinary that he would even have the gall to say, oh, I want my family back. I want William and Charles to come back to me. I mean, seriously, the bloke walked away, didn't give a toss, went to the US. He spent a couple of years now doing absolutely everything he can to crap all over his own family. And once again, he's making himself out to be the victim. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he'd be lucky to get a Christmas card from the King, let alone a meeting.
Well, yeah, when he said that he said to Tom Bradbury and ITV, there's been no willingness to reconcile on their side. I mean, I can't possibly think why. But what it does lack so far is any contrition on his side for what he's done. I mean, there's not even the point that, oh, maybe it could have been different if I did things differently. It's always, I'm the victim, they're the big bad monsters. And he does focus a lot, like we saw in the Netflix documentary, that there's clear sides now, there's clear teams, and the people that he victimizes the most, the people that he kind of villainizes the most is King Charles and the Prince of Wales, his brother.
I think the question now has to become how long can they keep this ruse up? I mean, Prince Harry and Meghan were called out for being Nepo babies by the New York magazine. Another mag, Politico, I think specifically called out the Duchess in an article titled 2022 is the year we all finally got tired of the narcissists. They certainly got that right. I mean, will 2023 finally be the year that the couple stop flogging a dead horse, or are they just going to milk this for all it's worth?
Well, from Harry's own saying, silence is betrayal. So that's certainly the motto that he and his wife are living by. I keep thinking that we're kind of at the end of it. In the Netflix documentary, they did kind of hint that they were moving on, it's time to move on. But you never know with these people. You've got Spear coming out on the 10th. Then there's since been leaks that maybe Meghan is willing to do her own memoir. I mean, what fresh information we'll get from that, I don't know, because it seems like it's been recycled and recycled now. The public are totally exhausted with all of their claims. What I did find interesting, though, is with ITV, Harry talks about wanting a family, not an institution. But with Harry, he always picks and chooses when he wants either. I mean, these are a couple that demand to be called by their titles. It's always Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Duke of Sussex, and have also continuously kicked up a fuss about their children's titles. So it'll be interesting to see how he talks about his hatred for the institution when it seems that that's the only thing that's kind of keeping him and his wife going now.
Well, I don't think you could really accuse them of moving on at the moment. And you're right when you say, I mean, there's all these reports that Meghan might write a memoir herself. The question is, though, if she does, who is going to sell more copies if the two of them go head to head, and who's going to be put in the doghouse for a week? Because I rather suspect that if Harry sold more copies than her, she wouldn't be terribly happy about it.
No, I think you're right, but they do sell. Unfortunately, when the Netflix documentary came out and it was the most watched documentary, I just thought to myself, I think it's just journalists that fund this thing, because obviously journalists have to buy it to write about it, and I can't see any normal person right now that is going through the kind of crises, especially in Britain, that we're going through, cost of living crisis, energy crisis, picking up this book by these absolute charlatans that are complaining about their terrible lives in their 20-bed mansion or whatever it is in Montecito. But yeah, there is a market for this. But my money would be on that Harry would sell more, because I think even though Harry is totally insufferable right now, he is still liked more than Meghan.
Ah, blimey, Charlie, it's a hell of a race. Kara Kennedy, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you.